That's a gorgeous banded chert. That's what I was kind of hoping to find here. Wow. I'm in Negwegon State Park today. I just met some people running off the beach because of the flies, so that's not super promising. But I'm going for it. Hopefully I find a few rocks and makes it all worthwhile. As you can see, it's all sand right here, but if you walk north a little bit, you'll run into some rocks. I can see the rocks up ahead. If you're coming here, this is between Ossineek and Black River, just south of Alpena, Michigan. And I took the road in from the north, from Ossineek. It's a sandy trail, not real sandy. You don't need four-wheel drive or anything. As long as you're not in a real low car, you should be fine. And then it's weird because you're going in this little sandy trail and all of a sudden it opens up into what looks like an expressway, comparatively, a real big gravel road that comes into the park itself. I've just arrived at the first point just north of where you park, and there are rocks here. There's also a turn here that just keeps diving in the water after minnows or something. I assume it's minnows. Some scum in the water. Not sure what that is. Hoping that clears up. Ooh, I'm sinking in. I'm walking through this stuff and it's a little soft. Hope I don't go in like that guy did on Van's Beach. I think he was out looking for Leland blue and sunk up to his waist. Yep, here's the rocks. A little bit scummy. Water's really low this time of year, or not this time of year, this year I should say. This would have been underwater probably last year. You can see where the grass starts. So these were all underwater and getting kind of covered in scum and maybe some algae. It's a little bit hard to see what they are. Not too bad. Let's go see what it looks like in the water here, if it's cleared up at all. Oh yeah, much better. It's a pretty rock with some big crystals in it. Probably feldspar. Just for size. There's my hand. Kind of afraid to walk up there. It's all mucky. So I've been wading through the water. Which isn't super clear, but it's better than over there. So far the rocks are pretty big. I like smaller rocks. The rocks are still big. I like that one. I believe that's nice, which I also think is nice. Big one there with some seagull poop on it. I lick a lot of rocks. I've yet to lick seagull poop off a rock, but I've heard from a couple people who have and said it's a very unpleasant experience. First pudding stone of the day. Looks like just a little bit on the top there. A little big to put in the bucket though. Still mostly big rocks. I do know there's some smaller rocks up by one of the campsites up there. There's, I don't know, 5 or 6 rustic campsites I think here. You have to hike into them. But one of them has some pretty good rocks right in front of it. I was looking up here and I saw these little white flowers. I thought they were daisies at first, but they're not. This stuff grows as a weed in my garden sometimes. It's hard to kill. I don't know what it is. I'm sure somebody will tell me. There's maybe a wild pea or something. I don't know. There was something else over here. These little yellow guys. Kind of cute. Seeing a lot of wildlife today. I don't know if you can see this, but I found a little garter snake here. Trying to get around it so it doesn't get in the woods. Yeah, hopefully you saw that. It's pretty quick. I think this is my little beach coming up right here. Another rock with a bunch of feldspar in it. And we do have small rocks up here, so I've been looking for. Actually, they go back a ways. I'll have to go back and check that out on the way back. Well, I just did my first live stream ever from a beach. There's a little bit of cell reception here, so I thought I'd give it a try. I don't think the quality was great, but that's okay. People seem to be having fun. I just found, I think that's an eagle feather. It's very big. And it's illegal to take, so I'll leave it right there. You can't take birds of prey feathers off the beach. So during my live stream, I walked up and down this beach quite a bit where all the small rocks are. This is the beach I was looking forward to seeing, but didn't find too much. Nothing too exciting here. So we'll keep going and hopefully get to some more better rocks later. More better? Some more rocks that are better. You know what I mean. I never know if this counts as a pudding stone or not. Ones that have mostly just a bunch of white quartz. It does have a couple pieces of red jasper in it. There's one there and one there. A couple other ones around, but those are not my favorite kinds of pudding stones. I like the ones with lots of red jasper. Let's see what else is up here. Looks like it might be something interesting over there. That's kind of pretty. I just found a beautiful rock. That would look nice in my yard. That's gorgeous. Should have brought a bigger bucket. Pretty sure that's not going to fit. Another little spot up here with some smaller rocks. These are the kind I like, nice and clean and so small I can fit them right in my bucket. And there is a little piece of banded chert. The best bands are right there, and this doesn't look like very good quality, so I'm not going to take it home. It's probably limestone up on top there. So if I threw this in the tumbler, that would tumble off really quickly and then leave the really hard chert behind, but that's not good enough to go in the bucket. There's a nice pudding stone. Hiding over here. Gotta get that wet. Ugh. It's not light. The water's all scummy. Well, it's going in the scummy water. They always look better wet. Set it up here. Well, that's a good one. Half of it's good. Not hauling that home with me though. This is a point that probably didn't exist last summer. A little bit of grass there, but most of this would have been underwater, so I'm going to go check it out. I think I'll get in the water. Another big Gogandatillite. It's like a big sandy beach up there. And a point way up there. I want to walk out to that, so got a ways to walk yet. It's a little rocky point that I just walked over right there, but other than that, it's been all sand until right here. Back into the rocks. Kind of those big rocks that are settled right in, haven't moved in a long time. Got some algae out there. So I'm wondering if instead of walking in these rocks, I go up here. I think I can see some small ones up closer to the woods where they've been dry for a long time. You can see how these are all just sort of nestled into the mud. I like beaches where the rocks move around because of the waves a little more, so these probably haven't moved in a while. pretty little iris. No, that one's a lily, I think. That's gorgeous. Yeah, we got rocks. Hopefully I find something good. I've walked a long ways. I probably walked a mile and a half, 2 miles by now. Found another rock that's pretty. It's also pretty big. That's one of the more interesting rocks I've seen today. Again, I think all that's feldspar in there, but just neat the way it's speckled all around. I found a nice wide stretch of small rocks. Looks promising. And I thought this was a pudding stone, but no, I'm not even sure. The matrix isn't quite right. Nah, I guess it is. One piece of jasper there. I'd probably grind the jasper off before I got the stone tumbled, so I think I'll just leave it there. Here's a piece of sandstone. Much more common up in Lake Superior. What's this, Chert? That's Chert. A little more interesting rocks. What's that little guy? I think that's probably Chert also. It's really thin. That's shale, but it almost looks like there's a fossil there, but I don't know. Maybe not. Look what I found. Everybody say it all together. Stripey rock. It's the best section of beach by far. Kind of a long ways from the water. Another way to get them wet though. Just slobber on them. There's got to be Petoskey stone in this beach somewhere. I'm seeing some limestone. There should be Petoskey stones, but there sure are few and far between. Haven't seen a single one yet. I just found something I'm kind of excited about, and I'm probably going to be the only one. Well, one other person. You see it? Sam collects tiny little pudding stones. He has a jar or two of them, I think. So that counts as a little tiny pudding stone that's almost all red. So that's going in my pocket and going home for Sam. I think I finally found one. Haven't picked it up yet, so I'm not sure, but yep, that's Petoskey stone. Definitely a Petoskey. Not the greatest quality, but not horrible. It's a little porous. Lines are good. But I'll leave that there for somebody else since there's so few to choose from. And something else that you should be aware of. That plant right there is poison ivy. So if you don't know what poison ivy looks like, that's what it looks like. It has 3 leaves. Sometimes they have a little reddish tinge to them. These don't. So my bucket's sitting on one. That's all over the place. I don't think I touched any though. You want to stay away from that. Just walked a couple more steps, and I think there's 2 pudding stones down here. There's that one, which is definitely going home with me. It's a pretty nice one. And I think, is this one too? Oops, where'd it go? There it is. Maybe. Not going in the bucket though. Interesting holy rock there. It might be stinkstone. There's a stone that has holes. I think it's just limestone, and I don't know if there's organic matter or something in there, but it's supposed to stink when you break them open. To this day, I've never broken one open. I don't bring a rock hammer with me. I kind of feel bad just breaking rocks open just to smell them. So I usually just don't. That one's kind of interesting. Sounds like somebody's mowing their lawn, but it's actually a boat going by way out in the water. I'd show you, but you'd never see it from here with the little camera lens. It's interesting. I don't know what that is. Some sort of a fossil, pretty beat up. I think maybe it's Favosites. Maybe. Oh, there's another Petoskey stone. Petoskey stone number 2. Alright, so here's maybe an obvious rock hunting tip, but I'm going to say it anyhow. If you ever see rocks sitting up somewhere where you can tell somebody put them there, like on this log for example, always take a look at them. So this is a pudding stone. Pretty clear why that one's there. But this one I looked at and I thought, why would they just put a plain gray rock? But if you look really closely, I think that's Favosites. Let's take it over to the water here. Get it wet. It'll probably show up a lot better. It's too big to lick the whole thing. Ooh, that's actually really cool. I believe that's the coral fossil Favosites. I don't think I'll bring it home with me. The pattern's so small that if you cut that up and made pendants or something, it would just look like a gray rock from a distance. But it's pretty interesting if you look at it closely. I just put the rock back where I found it, and I looked over here. Oh, now I can't see it. Thought I saw a Petoskey stone over here. Oh, there it is. Petoskey stone number 3. That one's kind of horrible. Look kind of interesting. It's quartzite, I guess. Oh, is that another Petoskey right there? I think it is. Where's the sun? Much better when wet. That's actually not bad. It's too small to do much with, but that's a good one. We'll put it right there. Some people get mad about stacking rocks, but hopefully that's not too obnoxious. This is what you call a hot spot. All kinds of good rocks. There's those that I just passed. I stepped over a couple more logs, and this one I am excited about. That's a gorgeous banded chert. That's what I was kind of hoping to find here. Wow. A little boring in the top there, but the rest of it is just incredible. That's a really good find. Alright, I just found something very similar to my banded chert, but different. I just wanted to show you the difference. So this is mudstone. It also has bands. Here's my chert. Now chert doesn't always have that nice of contrast. This one's a really good one. But if you look at this, it has conchoidal fracturing. If you ever chip a big piece of glass, like a really thick piece of glass, it has kind of a seashell shaped fractures in it where it breaks. Kind of like these half circles. And that's what this has. Very clear conchoidal fracturing. I don't know if it's clear in the video, but it's kind of scooped out, these little hollowed out areas. And this one doesn't break that way at all. It also feels kind of chalky, and this one feels very smooth and waxy looking. Let's get them out in the sun, see if that makes a difference. Very different looking rocks. They both have bands. If we got this one wet, the bands would probably show up a little better. This is really soft and doesn't polish very well. You can get it to take a little bit of a polish, but this is hard and it's like an agate. Chert and agate and flint jasper are all very closely related. Microcrystalline quartz. This is a good one, and that one's not. It's an interesting rock. It has stripes here, stripes going this way also, and then it's kind of looks like a conglomerate or something over there. It's a little too big for me to carry down to the water for you. It would look better that way, but I'm not picking that up with one hand. What I just found? More flowers. I think those are roses. Let's smell them. Yeah, they smell like roses. Alright, somebody's got to help me identify this rock. It's a big black rock. And if you look really closely, there's just crystals all over it. Some are kind of sparkling in the sun. What do you think? I don't even have a guess. Well, I started out way over there somewhere, and I didn't tell you, but I had a goal to walk to a certain place, and I am at that place now. This is South Point, so I'm standing at the tip of the point. Apologize if there's some wind noise, and I'm gonna have to zoom in a little more. Way over there is North Point. I can just barely see it. So the bay in between is Thunder Bay. So this is Lake Huron. Don't confuse Thunder Bay here with the Thunder Bay up in Canada. So if we look over this way, that's Scarecrow Island, and past that you can see Alpena, where I live. And then over here, a little closer, is Bird Island. I paddled out there one time. Because I went after the birds were supposed to be done nesting, but there's still a ton of birds out there, a lot of egrets, and other birds too. Somewhere over there is Ossineque. Can't really see Ossineque from here, but it's over that way somewhere. You zoom back out a little bit. So this is Thunder Bay, and I'm on the south point of it. Just ran across this fossil, a death plate. Got brachiopods. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe a little crinoid stem, I can't tell for sure. Here's a nice little impression of a brachiopod. Nothing too much on that side. Not a big fan of tumbling granite, but it sure is nice to look at sometimes on the beach. That's a really pretty piece. Here's a horn coral, I think. Got a little pudding stone for Sam? I think it is. That'll go in my pocket. Still out on the tip of South Point. That's pretty. Just don't look at there. There's South Point where I just was. And check out that rock. Don't know what that is. It's got interesting pits. Kind of looks like a conglomerate. But that's all I can really say. I like it. Here's a green one with some interesting stripage. I don't know if I can get it out of there. It's a little bigger than I thought. Oh, it's moving. Birdie. Some sort of a fossil here. I don't think it's a Petoskey stone, but I wanted to take a look. Well, the bumps go out rather than in. That's Probably stromatoporoid, but it's really hard to tell because it's covered in gunk. All I've got are these little bumps. But I would guess stromatoporoid. Petoskey stones, they wouldn't be bumps, they'd be little indentations. Never know what this kind of rock is. I know it doesn't tumble well. It's somewhat soft. Completely covered in scum on the other side, but it sure is a pretty rock. There's a little better than average Gogandatillite. I even brushed it off for you. It's a nice color there. Check out that root ball. It's a big tree down, big maple. Doesn't even know it's dead yet. Oh, and it has a rose growing on it. Alright, here's something really strange. Big piece of maybe basalt, but look at right inside there, there's something else. Isn't that weird? I see a couple other interesting rocks. There's one here. And there's one way over there. I like this one just for the shape of it. When I was here a couple years ago in my kayak and I paddled out to Bird Island, the water was dead calm and you could see big boulders underneath me as I paddled out. I thought that was a really cool day and really cool video, and I think you'd enjoy it. So click on that and I'll see you over there.